Have you ever thought about the meaning of life? If so, what did you come up with? Did you conclude that it's all just random chaos and there's no inherent meaning to anything? Or that your life has some sort of higher purpose? It grew out of the philosophies of existentialism, which focuses on the meaning of life and our place in the universe. The main idea is that we're all searching for meaning, and that searching is at the core of our human experience. These are the kinds of questions that existential therapy and psychology explores. Hi, I'm a psychology content creator, and I make mental health education videos. Today I'm talking about existential therapy. However, with that freedom comes the responsibility to make choices and to live authentically. Or maybe you find meaning by volunteering and helping others. We each go through life more or less alone. Even when other people are present, we each have to figure out our own path and deal with our own problems. Creating meaning is different for each person, but having a sense of meaning in your life is protective against depression and gives you a sense of purpose. We're connected to them through our relationships, through our shared experiences, and through our common humanity. Now, these ideas may sound abstract, but they can have very real applications to our everyday lives. By exploring these ideas in therapy, we can learn to live more authentically, to find meaning in a meaningless world, and to connect more deeply with ourselves and others. Recognizing our connectedness to others can help us feel less isolated and more supported. It can also help us be more empathetic and compassionate towards others. We can't blame others for our inaction or for not living the life that we want. Now, that sounds depressing, but stick with me. Just because life doesn't have any inherent meaning doesn't mean that we and create our own meaning. It just means that we can't expect someone or something to hand us meaning on a platter. Others may prefer a more structured or directive form of therapy, but for those who are looking for a more existential approach to therapy, it can be a helpful way to explore some of the big questions of life and to find meaning and purpose in an absurd world. The choices that we make define who we are, and if we don't like who we've become, we have to look no further than ourselves. So, existential therapy is a form of psychotherapy that emerged in the 1940s and 50s. Existential therapy explores three: freedom and responsibility, meaning and meaninglessness, and isolation and connectedness. Let's take a look at each one, starting with freedom and responsibility. Existentialists believe that we have the freedom to choose our actions and create our own meaning in life. In therapy, this might mean recognizing that you have options even though you may not feel like you do. Maybe you complain that you don't have any control over your life, but then when presented with a small choice, say whether you want to sit here or there, you can't decide and end up just going along with whatever someone else wants. By recognizing that you actually do have choices, even small ones, you start to reclaim your freedom, and with that, your responsibility. The second is meaning and meaninglessness. According to existential therapy, life is inherently meaningless, and it's up to us to create meaning in an absurd world. For example, you might find meaning in your relationships, in your work, or in your hobbies. The third is isolation and connectedness. Human beings are social creatures, but we also have a fundamental aloneness that no one can understand our experience exactly. But even though we're alone, we're also connected to other people. So those are the three big ideas in existential therapy. Now, existential therapy isn't for everyone. Some people may find the focus on abstract ideas to be too theoretical or too philosophical. Thanks for watching. See you next time.